In this video I'm going to show how to program a drum groove so it feels more realistic and less machine-like. It's for non-drummers who don't want to use loops. I'm going to use this simple beat using an eighth note subdivision. I've programmed the kick, snare and hats using musical typing, which I don't recommend. If you have a keyboard or MIDI drum kit, you'll get a much better groove happening from the get-go. If you also have good drum sounds from the beginning, that will really help, so spend some time choosing kit sounds. Let's hear how bad this is. It's all over the place. The hats can determine the feel of your groove, so let's begin with a hi-hat pattern. You can see how far out the beats are in the timeline, so for a start, let's highlight and quantize the hats to eighth notes. They sound machine-like, so the first thing I'm going to do is change the quantize strength to around 92 to 94%, then add about 5% of swing. You can see where the notes sit against the timeline, which is in the 16th notes. To get a looser feel, move the quantized strength to a lesser number. I want to make sure that there's enough variation in the hits being played. I'm using Logic, so to do that, go to Functions, MIDI Transform, Random Velocity. Now set these about 10 increments apart to get a nice random feel. Now highlight every second eighth note and bring the velocity down so you start to get a good variation of movement between the notes, keeping, in this case, the main notes, the quarter notes, at a higher velocity. Now the pattern is starting to sound as a drummer would naturally play them. Moving to the kick drum, I think the kick needs to be a bit tighter, and especially the first beat of the bar to be on the 1 or very close to hold the groove. So highlight the kicks, move the quantized strength to 94 to 95%, then check the first beat is smack on the 1. I think kicks need a small amount of velocity variation also, but not as much as the hats. Again, go to Functions, MIDI Transform, Random Velocity. I'm just going to make it 4 ticks apart. Kicks that sit on the off or and beat before the kick on the quarter note sound way better if they're played quieter, so bring the velocity down on this. Experiment till it sounds or feels right. Moving right along to the snare, quantize strength around 92 to 94% plus add about 5% of swing. Functions, MIDI, Transform, Random Velocity. Play with this till you're happy with the difference in velocity of your hits. Now let's have a listen to the whole thing together. It still all sounds really in time, but it has lots more movement. To get even more movement, I'm going to copy this 2-bar pattern, name one verse and the other chorus. The verse is where the story is told, and it's great to give that a little bit more space. So to do that, we're going to bring the snare volume down a tad and slightly offset it so it's a little bit late. This makes the feel a fraction more laid back. For the chorus, I'm going to push the snare ahead or early. This will give a slight energy boost to help deliver the main message of the song. The last part of the equation I want to touch on is ghost notes. Ghost notes can really give a simple drum groove a lot of subtle movement. I think of them as barely being heard in the mix, if at all, but if you take them out it would leave a hole. So use them sparingly and keep the volume really low. The ghost notes I've added on here are only 1/3 of the volume of the main snare. That's it. Thank you for watching. I hope it was informative. The next video will be on programming drum fills. See you then.